Buffalo theater groups will all take the stage tonight as Curtain Up kicks off the 2014-2015 theater season. We're bringing you a preview of the Lancaster Opera House production of Fiddler on the Roof. We're joined now by David Bondro, director of the show and also artistic director for the Lancaster Opera House, and Jeffrey Strauss, who plays Tevye in the show. Now, I think it's safe to say that a lot of people know the story of Fiddler on the Roof, so give us a rundown. You can keep it brief, I think.
Well, it's a timeless classic. Tevye, the poor dairyman, as he tries to give his daughters a better life than he has, but they have their own ideas and they want to marry who they want to marry, and then also the influence of the Russian Revolution is all tugging on the traditions and beliefs that Tevye hold dear, and just a fantastic score.
And centered to the story, of course, is Tevye and his journey to kind of come to grips with the world that is happening around him. What is it like playing this iconic character for you, Jeffrey?
Well, it's amazing. Our cast is fabulous. The story is tremendous. The music is tremendous. But you can enter it in so many different ways. He has 5 daughters. They have minds of their own. They're well educated because he's taught them. It's a thrill from start to finish.
And this is also exciting for you because you're from Kenmore.
I am.
You currently reside in Chicago, and you're coming back to the Western New York area to perform in the show.
I had an email from Fran Cushion in April. Hey, out of the blue, want to come? I met Dave. We decided to do it, and 4 of us in the cast are from Kenmore West or Kenmore East.
So it's
early 70s. Early 70s, the Paleolithic age.
A little bit of a reunion for you.
It is.
Yeah, that's how it started. They all did the show.
In 1973.
And we brought them all back together. And Fran, that he spoke of, is our music director on the project.
And David, you had a chance to meet with the lyricist. We have a picture of that I'd like to pull up. Tell me what this experience was like for you.
Well, this is once in a lifetime. Sheldon Harnick wrote the lyrics for this fantastic production, and I worked with him 10 years ago on another show that he wrote, Fiorello. So when we were doing Fiddler, I wrote to him and said, I would love to sit down with you and get your insight and wisdom on this piece. And he said, absolutely. So he invited me to Manhattan. We spent 2 hours over lunch and just had a fantastic time. And he told me what different lyrics meant and how the development of the fiddler became part of the show. And it really gave me a wonderful insight into this fantastic show.
Because typically a production company or a group will get a script, and it's really up to their own interpretation. Maybe they have past shows to reference or materials to reference. Do you think that this gives this production of Fiddler a unique twist or maybe a more authentic feel to it?
I think so. That's where we started. I said to the cast that this show was created out of nothing. It started as a story, and these gentlemen turned it into a musical. Just as we are going to turn, this production is going to happen, and then it's going to fade away. And it was very important that I take advantage. Mr. Harnick is 90, and I wanted this one last opportunity to get it from the source of the ideas that he was trying to come across. And he shared wonderful stories about how his identity, his Jewishness, and his family and his place in history by writing the show, and that's what I wanted to pass on to the cast.
And Jeffrey, for people that are going to be in the audience for Fiddler on the Roof, what do you think that they should pay special attention to or keep in mind when they're enjoying this production?
Just be open to it. It resonates with everybody. It's a story about Jews in Russia at a particular time, but there's a famous story that when it went to Japan, a fellow came up afterwards and said, how did you manage to capture the Japanese soul so well? It speaks to everybody. It's timeless, truly.
Definitely one of my most favorite musicals. It's always great to enjoy the show. David, Curtain Up is also a great way to look forward to the season. So real quick, can you tell me what's next up for the Lancaster Opera House?
Next, one of our producing partners, the Lancaster Regional Players, will be doing Kaufman and Hart's classic comedy, You Can't Take It With You. And that's special because that is the first production that they produced 50 years ago when they formed. So they're celebrating their 50th anniversary as well as the 50th anniversary of Fiddler on the Roof.
All right, well, thank you so much for both of you to join us. I hope that this weekend you have a chance to get out to see some of the amazing theater that's happening on stages all over Western Europe. But right now, we're going to head over to the Kitchen World Kitchen where some amazing